Today we had a conference on social innovation and organizational change and the challenges and opportunities for social service providers. And this conference was held in the framework of SEMPRE project. And SEMPRE project itself is all about social innovation, organizational capacity, and how to empower end users.
Can you please explain to us what SEMPRE actually means to Estonia and to the Estonian Lutheran Church? We are a transnational project, but it would be very nice to get an idea of the impact on the regional and local level.
Yeah, actually, I mentioned also in my greeting before the conference, or in the beginning of conference, that the impact for us had been very great in many levels, especially, of course, in the congregational level, if we are talking about the church, because the congregations had been recognized by the local authorities or municipalities as partners in a social field. But it works also the same way in a church level, because after the liberation 25 years ago or 26 years ago, the Estonian state and the local authorities or municipalities, they continued to carry on with the same social system in a way, like it was in the Soviet era. It means that the social field was not given away to NGOs or to the church. It means that when we tried to start in a diaconal field, then it was almost impossible. We opened some diaconal centers in Estonia, but they didn't succeed, all of them, because there were anybody who could buy this service, or how to say, because the municipalities, they wanted to continue by their own. But now, through the SEMPRE project, we have recognized again as a partners, and it had helped us as a church to answer to the call of Jesus to serve a neighbor. Because understanding in Estonia, where we are most, I would not say non-religious, but most non-church related nation in Europe, people think that the church is something where there are only gospel and the Bible reading, but not the social field or the diaconal field. Now people have started to understand it more betterly, and the SEMPRE project had helped very much in that.
And today we learned a lot of examples of how those end users can be empowered, and we learned about different small micro projects which have actually emerged out of this cooperation that we have had around this Baltic Sea region. And we understood that a lot of this work can be multiplied in different countries, but it's the context that matters to a large extent. It's the values that we need to share and create the common understanding around those common values in our projects, and together discuss those values also with our end users. And we learned by the example of those micro projects that when we engage our end users, our different risk groups into those activities, that the outcomes and the results of all those social services can be much more beneficial for them, and their life qualities can be improved, and actually their lives can be changed so much to the better. And we learned that we would need to think about more about co-creation in the public sector, as well as in different type of organizations. We need to think about how do we design those services, and how do we actually include the people who are going to be the beneficiaries of those services. And I think that we understood that we can improve the lives when we use very many different tools, and then when we also share those tools among ourselves, but furthermost we also evaluate what impact they make, and then as a consequence we share these best practices of using those tools, and then we can all think how we contextualize them to our own countries and organizations' settings. So it is all about those shared values, shared goals, and then working together with the end users to improve everyone's life.
So this was a real good opportunity to present the project. What is very exciting about SEMPRE is the transnational partnership. Even though we come from different cultural and national backgrounds, and we are a very diverse partnership, we've learned to identify the common issues we want to work on. And our common issues, or the keywords which are going through the SEMPRE partnership are social innovation, empowerment, and capacity building. So these issues are very relevant for us, and we are looking forward to presenting our final project results in Riga next year.
Konverentsid ei ole muidugi asjad iseeneses ja sellepärast on vale küsida, kas konverents läks hästi või halvasti. Tähtis on, et inimesed said uusi ideid, uusi töövõtteid ja omavahel tuttavaks. Nõnda sünnib sotsiaalne kapital, mida viia edasi maapiirkondadesse teenuste arendamiseks ja osutamiseks. See on tähtis. Kui elu läheb maapiirkondades paremaks, võime kõik olla tänulikud ja rõõmsad.